Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Indian Life German Way, and I hope you're doing fine. So guys, I'm making today's video to talk about the process, the car buying process in Germany, and some of you have already reached out to me asking about the process. So in this video, I'm gonna be talking in detail, step by step, what are the various steps that are included in the whole process of buying a car in Germany, and we'll talk about the process in detail, talk about each and every aspect in detail, and yeah, so let's get started. So guys, let's talk about point number one. So the first step is defining your requirements, right? And in order to buy a car, of course, you need to know what you want to buy, right? So have you decided already what you want to buy, or do you know the car type that you want to buy, or which particular brand are you looking for? Have you decided on your budget? Do you know if you want to buy a car or lease a car, or do you know if you want to order a car? So as you know, Germany, you also have options that you can basically customize your car. So do you know that if you want to do that? So there are a lot of options and points that you need to keep in your mind when you want to decide on what you want to buy, right? And there are also, of course there are a lot of features within a car. Then you have points like if you want a petrol car, diesel car, or electric car. And so all in all, what I'm trying to say is the first step is, of course, you need to define your requirements. You need to understand what exactly you need. So after your first step is clear and you know what you want to buy, or at least you have some idea what kind of car you're looking to buy, what kind of brand are you looking to buy, the next step is then you need to search for the right cars. And it's so now I'm going to talk about certain portals, like online web portals which are available in Germany, like autoscout24.com. I will .de, sorry, I will put the link in the description. And this is one of my favorite portals that I've used, and you can use it too. And you can of course take a look at other portals available as well. But you can basically go into these portals, select your city, and you have all the different criterias available. So you can choose a particular brand type, maybe a Mercedes or a Audi or BMW, for example, and then you can choose the when is it registered. If you're specifically looking for a second-hand vehicle, so you can say, okay, the vehicle should be registered somewhere, I don't know, in 2020. So you can choose that. You can choose the color, you can choose the various features. If you like a petrol car or a diesel car, you have all these options that you can choose. Also select the price range, and based on the you can also select a radius. So for example, if I'm living here in Wuppertal and I want to take a look at all the cars within a radius of, I don't know, 50 kilometers, and then you also have an option to choose like if you want to only deal with private individuals who are selling their cars, or you also want to deal with like resellers. This is something that you can do. So you can go into these portals, define a search criteria, go through all the different options that are available, make a search, save your search, and then look out for the cars that are available in your nearby area. Okay guys, so now I will talk about point number 3. So the step number 3 is I'm hoping that by this time you have already went into the autoscout24.de, for example, and had your search criteria and you searched for cars, and now you have, I don't know, identify 5 cars that you're really interested in, a particular model or a particular body type of your cars. For example, if you're looking for sedans, and then you, let's assume that you have chosen or selected 5 cars. So the next step would be to contact the resellers, these companies, and make a request for offer or make a request to see the car. And normally, because of Corona and because of the situation how it is because of Corona and stuff, it's not really possible that you can directly go sometimes. So I would suggest that you make an appointment and then go there, take a look at the car, explore all the features, talk all the questions that you might have on the car, and see the car yourself, and then express your desire to buy it if you really like it. So something that I want to really highlight here is that for me personally, I would definitely like to be in touch with the with the authorized resellers from the companies like Audi, Mercedes, and BMW, for example. And I would not like to go and connect with the local neighborhood resellers, and I would not do that personally. That's my personal opinion. Another important tip is that when you go for to see a car, so unlike in some of the countries that I come from, for example, I come from India, and then when you talk about a test drive, you can literally go for a test drive right away. But that's not the case here in Germany. The best is you take a look at the car, and if you make your mind and you're really interested in buying the car, and you express your intention of making a test drive, and then they would arrange the test drive for you. And I think there's a special reason for that, is because they also need to get some documentation done in order to arrange for a test drive, because you would be taking the car outside of their outlet. You would be driving it on the highway, for example, and they need some sort of documentation, some insurance, etc., that is needed. So therefore it's not like you go and you can go for a test drive. You have to request it and plan it beforehand. So guys, after you have made your decision to go ahead with the particular car, you went to the store, you like the car, all the features and everything, it's within your budget and everything has been decided and set, and you really want to buy the car. You had your test drive and everything is all good. And so the next step is, of course, you need to, before you sign the contract, you would also need to think about financing of the car, right? So you maybe you are not going to pay everything upfront, and you would like to go for a car loan. So in this case, I would certainly like to suggest that there are also online portals in Germany wherein you can basically put the amount of the car and the details, and then it will show you the different interest rates or the interest rates that you will get from different banks, and then you can basically compare which banks are the cheapest. In my case, I went ahead with the Mercedes bank itself because it was less hassle for me. Everything, I got the good interest rate. With Mercedes itself, I was buying the car from Mercedes itself, and getting a loan from Mercedes, it was quite easy and I would say hassle free. So let's also talk about the documents, right? So when you want to close the contract, you want to buy the car, in terms of the documents, you would need to submit your last 3 salary slips, yeah, and you also need to show a valid residence permit or a blue card or a Niederlassungserlaubnis. For example, if you have a permanent residency in Germany, because the loan would certainly be connected with it, right? So if you don't have a residence permit for 2 years, and then you can't really get a loan for 3 years, right? So you need to have this documentation at least in place, and I think that's it. So you need last 3 months salary slip, a valid residence permit. So guys, now I would like to talk about the commercial aspect, which is very important here. It's very important to know regarding the down payment of the car. So in Germany, it's not mandatory to pay any down payment. So you can basically make a 0 down payment, or you can decide to pay any X amount of money that you would like to put together as the first time payment. And how it normally works is that you need to basically decide how much is the monthly EMI, or how much monthly you are willing to pay, and based on that they would formulate some sort of calculation. And normally how it works is, for example, if the car costs, for example, 30,000 euros, and you decide to pay 5,000 euros upfront, and then you basically need a loan on 25,000 euros, right? So let's assume that you take the loan for the loan contract is 3 years. So the provider will ask you how much monthly EMI are you willing to pay. So for example, you say I want to pay 300 euros per month, and then they would base the calculation in a way that your first installment starts with 300, and until considering it's a 3-year contract, so you would have 35 EMIs or installments would be 300 euros, and the last installment, the 36th installment, would be the balance amount which you're left at the end of the duration. So it can be, I don't know, 18,000 or 19,000, provided you have paid some 12,000 in the first 3 years with paying 300 euros per month, including the interest rates. So this is something how the contracts are drawn up here, and at the end of the 3 years you would again have an option to extend the contract again for further 3 years, or you can pay the complete amount and basically close the contract. So once you have submitted all your documents, including salary slips, and you have a loan confirmation from any of the banks, and then the next steps would be, of course, the contract closure. So so now I'm gonna explain what happens exactly when you're at the dealership. So when you're at the dealership, expect there would be, of course, a file prepared for you with all the necessary documentation from the executive at the dealership, and you expect to basically read through it, go through it, and it's all just paperwork, and you need to review it and sign it. So expect a lot of signatures that you would need to do on the contract date. And apart from that, an important activity would also be that you need to choose your number plates. So an interesting fact is that when I bought my car at Mercedes, so Mercedes offered me a free service as in for the registration of my car. So basically I submitted all the documents and everything, the contract was signed, and then Mercedes took care of getting the car registered in the local authorities here in Wuppertal, and this is something which they did as an extended favor. And so I would really suggest that you check this with your dealership whenever you're there. So if they are going to do the car registration for you, or is this something that you need to do yourself? Because if you need to do it yourself, then of course there are additional charges, I think around 120 or between 120 to 150 euros that you would need to pay from your pocket. So guys, now we are at almost the final step, and which is the insurance. And once you sign your contract, so your dealership executive will give you a reference number from your car, and you need to basically take that reference number, take the document along with you, and go to the insurance company from where you want to take your car insurance. Again, there are a lot of portals available where you can search for the various options, and you basically need to figure out which car insurance you need to choose, which is much more economical and beneficial for you. So that's again a separate activity that you would need to do. But so this is considering that you already know which car insurance you want to take. For example, I went ahead with the insurance Hook Coburg, and so I went to the Hook Coburg offices and I submitted that reference document, and with the help of the reference number which is there mentioned on the document, they are able to basically fetch an offer, an Angebot for you, and you then need to basically accept and make your insurance contract. So once you do that, and you then get again a unique reference number from the Hook Coburg application, for example, or from the insurance application, at that number you need to submit back or give it back to the dealership, and then they would need that number in order to do the registration for you. So if your dealership is not doing the registration for you, then of course then you would need that insurance confirmation number for your car registration process. So this is very, very critical and crucial factor in order to close your car registration process. So guys, I'm at the end of my video, and before I say goodbye, I would like to share some really nice tips with you when you are trying to buy your first car in Germany. So I'm not sure if you really know, but in Germany you have winter tires and summer tires are separate, and this point is especially applicable if you are looking to buy a second-hand car, for example. And then I think it's a very you should already ask and should not forget regarding asking about the tires. If the tires in the vehicle are from summer or winter. For example, when I bought my car, the car had summer tires and I bought it in winter, so I also had to buy winter tires also in my case from Mercedes. So inquire about this, and in addition, you also have a topic of the storage of the tires, because when you are using the summer tires during the summer, you need to store your winter tires and vice versa, right? So When you especially when you buy the tires from the dealership, you also get a possibility to get a free storage in the dealership itself. So in my case, the first season of storage was free for me, and then Mercedes would charge me from next season. So this is something that is normally provided free of cost, so I would recommend you to also check with your provider. Apart from that, another tip is that you should always try to negotiate on the interest rates, especially if you are taking directly from the Mercedes bank, for example, or BMW bank. And yeah, so you should try to negotiate on that. Apart from that, you also get gifts sometimes from your dealership. So in my case, they provided me a special cover for my boot space, so which was I think it costs around 100 euros in the market, and it was like a free complimentary gift which I got, and after pushing for it. So please try to use these tips and tricks to see if you can get the maximum value out from your dealership. Yeah, so guys, this is the end of my video for today, and I hope you really like the content, and I hope it helps you in some way or the other. And I wish you all the good luck for finding your dream car and your favorite car. And having that said, if you liked my video, please do consider liking, sharing and subscribing to my YouTube channel, and I'll try to make such useful content in the future as well. And wish you good luck and stay healthy, and see you later. Bye bye.